get that, I can send a lot of data over this connection because you have built that connection. And UDP just doesn't have that rigidity. But you could never do a Vonage service or a Skype service using TCP because all of the handshaking and connecting takes too much time. You would have kind of a difficult time understanding who's talking on the other end. But hey, UDP, if you lose some packets, you can still hear the voice, you still understand what they say. So that's kind of some of the differences. You'll find that a lot of game servers for Halo and the others use UDP because they're just sending out a very fast stream of small packets to update the user's screen or his score. And if little packets get lost, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the gaming experience. Slow servers, of course, will give you that problem in that they just don't send out enough packets quickly enough and people complain. So what I've done is just restarted the server running on ports, and there are 4 of them. Now I'm going to do one thing that you'll see, and in the message box I am going to put the open sockets. And you'll see right now I've got open sockets. Now there's an extra one. Because we received a message, we can test these open sockets to say, are there 20 of them or 40 of them? That means we're going to really be slowing down our app. So you'll find that in our script, which I'll bring right up into here, we say if the open sockets are not empty, because we've already done some restart, we've already had some activity, we could use this reset all. But as Alex put in here, we would usually do reset all, which means tell the operating system for Livecode app, just get rid of all the ports. Kill them all off. Close them all down. Start fresh. The problem is in this particular test, we're using 2 different stacks. And we don't want to tell the operating system just to reset all. So in this case, we use the technique of repeat for each line in the open sockets. And if a condition is true, we want to close that socket because we want to start fresh. We come down a little ways. We put reset into the field so we know what's going on. It's a server status field. We wait for 200 milliseconds for this little maintenance to be finished off by the operating system. Then we take the ports in the listing field and we put it into a variable. If there's nothing in there, we default and say we really want 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to define at least 1 port. Then we update the status field, saying we're running on all of those ports. But actually at this moment, we're not running on the ports yet. And down here, which I will bring up a little bit, here's the thing that really makes it work. Repeat for each word, W, in the list of ports. And I'll show you that list one more time. I put in 4 of them. And they're not separated by commas. If I put commas in there, we wouldn't get ports opening because we would have the comma, which doesn't make any sense. The operating system just wouldn't open the port. You would not get an error message. You just wouldn't get a port open. Here we do the accept datagram connections. And what this says is, because we use the word datagram, the protocol is UDP. This basically says, listen on these ports for anything coming in. The reason it comes into this particular script container is because we're starting from this particular script container and telling the operating system anything coming in, send it to this script container, and I'll handle that message. So this one is important, and I will sort of do a little bit of an autopsy on it, or a larger diagram, because here's the crux of why you would set up, and this works